The Shadow War is coming, a massive battle that will see the forces of Deathstroke and the Secret Society of Superheroes go head-to-head against the Al Ghul family. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into Shadow War Alpha issue number 1 and find out together, shall we? So then, this special prologue issue actually starts pretty much exactly where the last issue of Robin left off. Ra's al Ghul had been told by his mother, the mysterious Mother Soul, that something is wrong with the Lazarus Pits, that they're cursed. Around the same time, too, Ra's started suffering from the very same illness that claimed the life of his mother so long ago. Ra's has always been something of a paranoid guy, and now that he knows his time is coming to an end, he really starts jumping at shadows. He thinks that his palace is under attack, only to realize that it's Talia and Damian doing a training exercise. Again, if you've not been reading the main Robin book, you wouldn't know that mother and son have actually managed to bury the hatchet and become a lot closer than they ever have been before. Their whole family dynamic is a lot healthier now, which naturally makes Ra's now impending death all the more tragic. Back in Gotham City, we hook up with Batman, who is dealing with, get this, Lockup, one of my favorite lower-tier Batman villains. Lockup, as we discover, has been kidnapping paroled convicts, thinking that they haven't suffered nearly enough under the justice system. Batman mops up this guy easy enough and even tells the cons to keep up the good work and keep working their programs. It's then Batman gets alerted by Oracle to a breaking news story. Apparently, Ra's al Ghul and his daughter Talia, two of the most wanted people in the entire world, are actually turning themselves over to the DEO. And believe it or not, the whole thing is actually threatening to start a little bit of an international incident. The DEO cut them a deal, but there's other nations out there like Markovia who feel that the Al Ghul should stand trial for all the different crimes they've committed, to say nothing of all the different friends and enemies that Ra's has had over his very long life, who probably wouldn't want him turning state's evidence and who would probably try and kill him beforehand. The situation only gets even more complicated too when we discover that Talia didn't actually agree to turn herself in and thinks her father is acting crazy right now. Talia actually makes some good points too, saying that she only just now was able to wrestle away control of Leviathan, to reestablish the Shadows as an organization, and now Ra's is ready to throw it all away. Ra's attempts to assure his daughter that there is indeed a method to his madness and that everything will be made clear soon enough. In fact, their family is slated not only for a big meeting with DEO head Cameron Chase, but he's also, as part of his demands, gets to make a big decree to the media. Obviously, Batman is overseeing this exchange, figuring that anything could pop off at any moment. It's here, too, that Bruce actually comes face-to-face with Damian again for the first time since he left Gotham City. It's Oracle on Batman's earpiece who probably walks away with the line of the issue saying, "Geez, Batman, hug your son already." Damian can't exactly tell his father what's going on, mainly because he doesn't exactly know what Ra's is doing, but he trusts his grandfather enough now to see how this all plays out. Ra's does indeed give a very impassioned speech saying that he's lived thousands of years trying to save the world from ecological destruction. Yet despite his very best efforts, the world is probably teetered more on climate disaster now than ever before. In his younger days, Ra's blamed mankind for all of these problems and thought it would be better if the human race was culled by a considerable amount, but now his ideology has changed. Mainly thanks to Damian. Ra's says he believes in the human race again, and because of that he wants to extend an olive branch of goodwill. He wants to share Lazarus technology with the world. Which you gotta admit, the timing on this change of heart is pretty suspect, given what we now know about the Lazarus Pits maybe perhaps being cursed. Now, like all people who dared try to make the world a better place, poor Ra's al Ghul ends up catching a bullet in the head for his trouble, one fired by Deathstroke, who seems to be rocking a retro costume this day. Batman tries to spring into action to bring the assassin down, but the Terminator has already planned for this eventuality. He planted a bomb by Ra's corpse, and now Batman has two very uncomfortable options in front of him: either let Deathstroke escape, or let Ra's body be atomized to the point that he can't be resurrected anymore via the pits. Ultimately, the choice kind of makes itself when Robin swoops on in to try and save the body of of his grandfather, only to be caught in the explosion, which Batman is only narrowly managing to save him from. This unexpected turn of events pretty much ends up torpedoing the happy father-son reunion we were all holding out for. Damian is still very angry with his father regarding the death of Alfred, and this turn of events just seems to be more salt in the wound. Damian even says that Batman has now cost him 2 grandfathers. And even if Damian did want to reunite with his father to tell him about all his personal growth and adventures in the Lazarus tournament, now he vows to hunt Deathstroke down single-handedly and kill him if it comes to that. Oh, but we're not done yet. We actually got 2 little epilogues. The first one deals with Talia herself. The Shadow Ninjas take her to a pit for her injuries to be healed, but she denies it. She also wants to get revenge right now and can't deal with the residual madness. Because of that, she brings together all the different assassins of the shadows from all over the world, a lot of them being characters you know, including, oh look, Talia al Ghul, Damian's cousin and Talia's niece. It's nice to know Williamson remembered this character existed. The assassins of the shadows declare war not only on Deathstroke, but his entire family and anyone he's ever done business with, which right now actually includes the secret society of supervillains. Yes, Deathstroke had actually taken over the group in his own solo book and is trying to move the organization into bigger and better things, much to the chagrin of the likes of Lex Luthor. The society further begins to lose faith in Slade once they hear of the assassination on Talia al Ghul. He's supposed to run this stuff by them and not go off all lone wolf. But here's the thing though, when members from the society confront Deathstroke, he says he had nothing to do with it. He hasn't worn that costume in years and he's been too busy training his new son. Oh yes, everyone, Deathstroke has a new son if you haven't been reading that book. His name is Respawn and he's actually a clone. One made up of the DNA of Talia and Slade. Yes, that's right, which means Respawn is essentially Damian's half-brother. Deathstroke vows to find whoever framed him just in enough time for the assassins to come crashing on into his base as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Shadow War Alpha issue number 1, everybody, and overall I thought it was pretty damn cool. It works not only as a super cool summer blockbuster style crossover event between a bunch of books I've been really enjoying, but Williamson goes that extra mile to even include connective tissue from the other big stories that he's doing right now, like the upcoming Dark Crisis. Williamson also seems to be a connoisseur of forgotten and D-list supervillains, which you know will always warm my particular nerdy heart. And at the center of it all, we do still have a story about Batman and Robin still desperately needing to reconcile, but having literally the entire world working against them. Overall, I'd give this one a very solid 8 out of 10, and I hope it can keep this sort of momentum going forward into the other books. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, you know, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.